Welcome to the video, guys. Today, this is a very exciting and historical, if I do say so myself, moment for my channel and my business. So I was reached out to by Doop Fragrance Co. and they asked if they could send me a box of fragrance samples to try here on my channel. And of course I said yes. I've had actually a bunch of their fragrances in my cart on their website for a while and was just kind of waiting to pull the trigger. Like I couldn't figure out exactly, I just couldn't decide. So I was super happy when they reached out to work together, and now a couple weeks later, here we are. So thank you very much to Doop for sending me this. It's my first official PR moment. I'm very excited. I did receive all of these fragrances for free, which of course will not impact my opinion. I'm ready. We've got a lot to get through. Let's just go ahead. You guys have no idea how excited I am for this. Okay, so full disclosure, I have smelled all of these before. I've really noticed that lately when I'm smelling different fragrances, that if it is a more complex fragrance, like for example, some of my Simbi fragrances, they're not exactly like a one thing, right? It's not like a grapefruit fragrance oil. There are a lot of different notes coming from a lot of different places. I have noticed that kind of smelling them over time really helps me to get a solid opinion of them. So I did do that with these. I've been smelling them for a couple of days now, and I think I finally have like my full opinions for you. All right, let's start with Fun Fair Date. This smells so good. Now this, and I'm definitely going to say it a couple times in this video, we'll have to count how many. I'll put a little counter up in the corner, but this one really has a nostalgic like moment for me. I smelled this and immediately felt like I was walking through the fair when I was a teen again, when I was a young teen again. I really liked this one. And I think that it would be perfect for a fall candle line, simply because that's like the fair time of year. Well, I don't know about you guys, but in Maryland, like that's when the fair hits hard. We have fair day off of school every single year to go and enjoy. And this just it reminds me of that, like without the fried food smell, if that makes sense. So it smells like a fresh county fair, if that makes sense. Next up, we have Mohili Liang Liang. It smells so clean. It's a very fresh, light scent that gives me like just the hint of a citrus vibe. And I think actually this one would be good for a soap. Next up, Treehouse. I was very interested in Treehouse because of different, or I've seen it supplied by a couple of different fragrance companies, but I haven't gotten one. And it smells so good. I'm glad that I got it because it smells so good. I definitely think this is perfect for a candle. The soap, I don't know if I would make a soap with it, but it smells, again, it just smells very clean, very fresh, with like a hint of like the woods. Tan Wicker. I really have had this in my cart for the absolute longest because I think it will be perfect. I have a like beach vibe market coming up. You can only sell like beach themed things, and I really wanted to have this one for that. This is another one of the nostalgic ones for me. It just smells like wicker patio furniture, and I think it smells amazing. Find it. This one is French Riviera. This one smells very good. I feel like it has a very like green, grassy undertone. Another good choice for a candle. I have noticed a lot of these fragrances smell perfect for candles over like my body products that I offer. Miami Rainstorm. This one. This one smells just like rain. This one actually I think would make a really good sugar scrub. One time in one of my fragrance videos, I was like smelling my cup of coffee to like kind of clear my nose between fragrances, and someone in the comments told me that I should smell my armpit between fragrances, and unfortunately I know you're all dying to see me do that, but unfortunately I will not be smelling my armpit in between fragrances. This one is Rodeo Drive, another one that I was super interested to try. This one smells very clean. I don't think it smells exactly how I was expecting it to smell, but it does have a very nice, pleasant. I don't know about a candle though. This one gives me a good soap vibe. Next up, S'mores Coffee. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I've been looking for the perfect coffee fragrance. This one literally smells like you puffed up a marshmallow and like you roasted a marshmallow and melted it again in a cup of coffee. It smells so good. Very nice. And the coffee in it is a very pleasant coffee. I mean, I've smelled some coffees before that were like instant migraine. This one smells very good. It's very like fresh coffee, not like old used coffee grounds. Hopefully that's a good description for you. Raspberry Blossom. I'm so glad they sent it because it smells amazing. It smells like flowers, but then like a twist of raspberry, like a juicy, tart raspberry. This one smells very good. I've been trying my hand at making rollerball perfumes, and that Raspberry Blossom, I think, would be an excellent rollerball scent. Okay, this is another one. I know I'm going to say it wrong. I'm going to say it's Italian Panoli cookies. This is what it's called. I didn't request this one because just because I didn't think that it would be my style. I don't tend to gravitate towards food smells after rebranding from my previous brand. But then once I opened it, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad they sent this. It smells like vanilla shortbread cookies with like a hint of almond extract. And I could definitely see this would be a really hot one for winter candles. I could see that for sure. And like a gift set type deal. Sea salt and ocean flowers, you guys. This is one of those nostalgic ones for me. It smells like that fragrance just reminds me of when we first saw each other and would give each other that big hug. Absolutely amazing. Brown Sugar Boba. I actually got this one for my daughter because she's super into boba tea. So I thought she might like this one. It's definitely a nice smell, but I just don't think that it's a smell that I would have like in my line at all times. The Sweet Succulents, it smells good, but again, I don't think that I would put it in my line year round. I think that there's definitely a time and a place for it. And of course you do you, right? And I think if you're more like a green, earthy type of brand, I think that this would be perfect for you. But for me, I think it would be more of like a limited release. Maybe I'm doing an Earth Day collection. Maybe I'm doing a garden collection, something like that. That's where I think that this would have a really good place. Vintage Boudoir. So this one and the Rattan were, I'm pretty sure, the two that I've had in my cart the longest, because in my head, I could just picture everything that this was going to smell like. And let me tell you, it absolutely does not disappoint. It's very nostalgic. If you had a mom growing up who would sit at a vanity and do her makeup, and then you would like play with all of her makeup brushes when she was done, so you would get like that little hint of whatever was left on her makeup brush. It smells exactly like that. I do. This smells amazing. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but this is the type of fragrance I will find a place for it. Is it Lychee Rose? This smells pretty good too. This is a very good, very feminine Bamboo Garden. I've been looking for a nice, fresh, like greenish scent. Okay, so this one here, hear me out. I like it, but it gives me, you know how when you smell, again, hear me out. You know how when you smell pine sol, right? You smell like the pine part of it before you smell the chemical part of it. This smells like that. It smells like that really good smell that you want your house to smell like, because it's going to smell clean, right? People will walk in and be like, oh, this house was just like freshly mopped. That's what I think that this smells like. I really do like it because, again, I think it smells like a very clean house. Like if I was having company and I wanted them to smell my house smelling clean, I would make this candle and I would light it. Coconut Macchiato. I know I like this one. I really like this one because it's very evenly coconut and coffee. Not one of the fragrances is like, not one of the notes is outpowering the other. They both just smell very good together. I got this one simply for my husband because he, every time we go to a restaurant, asks for it. And I have to say, it has some really good notes to it. There's something that I can't quite get though. Like there's one of the notes that I smell the cinnamon, I smell like the milk. Maybe it's like an almondy. This is another one that I think would be really good as a scrub. Velvet Persimmon. I didn't know how I would like a persimmon fragrance, to be honest, but it smells absolutely amazing. This is very, very clean. Again, it's another one of those fragrances where you would light if you wanted it to be like super clean smelling inside of your house. And finally, last but not least, Bondi Beach. You know what I like about this? It doesn't smell like a sea glass type of fragrance. A lot of the beach smells that I've been smelling so far this season are very much so like sea glass, which I absolutely love. But this has a really unique, smell to it. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of, don't laugh. It kind of reminds me of Sprite. Like a fountain Sprite at the beach. I don't know why it gives me that vibe, but it smells so good. I know I went through those kind of fast, but I really value your time, so I didn't want to keep you here for a super long video. I know you guys just like to get in, get the info, and get out. So here are my final thoughts. Overall, I think that this was a really great set of fragrances. They have a really great out-of-the-bottle smell, which, as you know, isn't always an indicator of how they are in a finished product, but it's a really great place to start. I will say that the standouts for me were the Bondi Beach, absolutely this Vintage Boudoir. That one is probably my top favorite. I'm going to give the Underdog Award to the Velvet Persimmon just because I didn't think that I was going to like it at all, but it actually smells very, very good. I'm very excited to make something with that. An honorable mention underdog would be these Italian cookies that I can't pronounce the middle name of. Sorry, I'm not as refined. This one smelled very good and I wasn't expecting it to. If I had to only pick top two, it would be Vintage Boudoir and Rattan Wicker, but a very close follow to that is Sea Salt and Ocean Flowers. I very much so like that. The ones that I think smelled nice, but they just aren't for me, were the Brown Sugar Boba and the Sweet Succulents, and then this Lychee Rose. Is it lychee or lychee? Again, it smells good. It's just not my vibe, you know? What I've been learning as I go on is that the true test of a fragrance oil, out of the bottle at least, obviously, is that the more complex fragrances, you really need to smell them over time. And I know this sounds weird, but like at different times of the day and different places, you know, because I think that just smelling it one time in one room isn't enough to get a full kind of feel for the profile of the fragrance, especially if you're working with more complex fragrances like we talked about earlier in this video. These were all super nice, and I really appreciate, again, Doop for sending me all of them to review for you guys today. So here's kind of where I'm gonna go from here. I am absolutely going to be pouring some candles from these. I think what I'm gonna do is kind of a follow-up video to this one, kind of like a studio vlog type video of how I'm using the different fragrances. You can say whatever you want from an out of the bottle smell or a first impressions and review video, but the true test is how we actually use them. And so what I'm going to do is write up a list of things I'm going to make, studio vlog it, and then post it as a follow-up to this one. It'll probably be a couple weeks out. I'm waiting on quite a few supplies to come in. I'm actually super short on candle vessels right now, which is a good problem to have, I guess, but it's also kind of stressful. So you guys will have to let me know, which of these have you tried? What have you used them in? Do you love them? Is there another one that you like that I didn't try today, but I need to? Give me your thoughts, give me your opinions. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. Leave me a comment. Let me know which fragrance I forgot from Doop or what I need to go back and get. I would love to do that. And I will see you in the next video.